Caitlyn Clark effect continues to go wild. We are witnessing a cultural force that has not been seen since Tiger Woods. Let's talk about the effect her teammate has gotten over the last couple weeks. Sophie Cunningham defended her Fever teammate last week in a scuffle against the Mercury, in response to what many people would consider a bit more hazing than usual for Caitlyn Clark over the last year and a half. Next, let's look at the top followed WNBA athletes in the league right now. Just in the last week since she defended her teammate, she has now gained over 1 million followers collectively. By the end of this week, she'll probably be top 4. Now, we don't have official figures for TikTok, but she is at 1.3 million followers on TikTok now.
The WNBA didn't just get exposed, it got undressed, live and in 4K. Because the second Caitlyn Clark started taking hard hits, the media flipped. Suddenly they weren't critics, they were bodyguards. Microphones turned into megaphones. Every shove turned into a headline. "Justice," they screamed. "Protect the rookie." But if you were watching closely, it didn't feel like protection. It felt like damage control, like panic, like someone somewhere finally realized this league needs her more than it ever wanted to admit.
Referees ain't gonna do it. Somebody got to do something, right? But let's head on over to X right now. Pull up this footage, man. Shout out to the homeboy Mike.
Obviously being fouled. Right in the first quarter, Caitlyn Clark obviously being fouled. The refs don't call it.
And it's crazy because let me go back there. Because the referee's literally right there. Like, bro, you're right there.
She's getting hip checked into next week, elbowed like she stole someone's contract, and somehow the conversation is still about how tough the league is. They call it physical play, but let's be real, this ain't basketball anymore. It's WWE and sneakers. And somewhere along the way, someone lost the rule book, or maybe they just tossed it when they saw her name on the jersey. Now nobody's saying basketball should be soft. Elbows fly, bodies clash. That's part of the game. That's what separates greatness from casual. But when Caitlyn gets hit with a shoulder that belongs in a linebacker drill and the refs stare into space like they're watching paint dry, that's not grit, that's negligence. That's silence disguised as toughness. That's the league saying, we see you and we're gonna let it happen anyway. And here's where it gets messier, because when she goes down hard, the cameras catch it, the fans replay it, but the league, crickets. The silence is louder than any whistle. Meanwhile, social media lights up with clips of her hitting the floor like a crash test dummy. She's not flopping, she's surviving, and survival should never be the baseline for greatness. Compare that to the NBA. When Michael Jordan got hacked, he went to the line.
I can relate to that young lady. I know what it's like to be hated. I know what it's like to be a black woman and hated because of my skin color. Yeah. I can't imagine this young lady, I don't want to use hate, but despise. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about it. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't true.
Right.
And
there were consequences. The refs didn't play dumb, but when Caitlyn gets mugged in broad daylight, the officiating crew suddenly forgets what a foul looks like. You could swear they're meditating with their eyes closed. It's not incompetence anymore. It's a choice, a system. Let's talk truth. If this were any other player, if it weren't Caitlyn, the rookie, the phenom, the blonde star pulling millions of eyeballs, you'd see panel shows, op-eds, think pieces about protecting women in sports. But with her, there's a different energy. Too popular, too marketable, too threatening. The league can't decide whether to embrace her or break her. And that's the word nobody wants to say, threat. She threatens everything, the status quo, the old guard, the unspoken pecking order. So what do they do?
You think that was dirty by Caitlyn Clark? Let's start there. You think that was dirty by Caitlyn Clark?
It don't matter. It was basketball. It don't matter if it was dirty or not. It was bad. I mean, we seen intentional dirty plays in both leagues. It don't even matter if it was dirty or not. It was a foul. She stopped a layup.
It was a foul. It was a good hard foul, and Caitlyn wasn't even wrong for going to defend her teammate because it was some good hard fouling going on.
These girls have been grinding to grow the game of basketball in the WNBA. They've been grinding to grow the sport to the world, the viewerships. They've been grinding for all of this. And then you have this girl that comes along from college and is an instant change. She's handed pretty much being the face of the league. There's going to be girls that are offended by that. And there's going to be girls that think she's got to earn it and she doesn't deserve this early. She's handled it great. I think she's performed last year. She's performing again this year. I think she's the rightful face.
Dominated by black women in a black league that they want to mirror the NBA. But unfortunately, them white girls, they got an extra, I don't know, they got an extra 3-point finger or something. Because this girl has done 565 games. She only played 45 games and she's one away from tying the WNBA record. WNBA record.
They try to humble her the only way they can. Pain. Not with strategy, not with skill, just pain. Because they can't outshoot her, can't outthink her, can't out-hustle her. So they hit her. Meanwhile, the same media who once called her overhyped are now uploading photos of her bruises for likes. It's the most twisted love story in sports. Hurt her, then profit off the recovery. Turn her into a villain. Then cash in when she fights through it. The league gets the clicks. The networks get the ratings. And Caitlyn, she gets the bruises. And the refs, oh, the referees. You'd think with 30 cameras on the court, they'd finally get it right. But when Caitlyn gets tackled like she's in a rugby match, all you hear is nothing, no whistle, no foul, just a quiet walk back up the court while she peels herself off the hardwood like a cartoon after getting steamrolled. How many hits until someone says enough? And when she dares to look confused or frustrated, the talking heads come out. She needs to adjust. This isn't college. She's not used to the league.
Hype and all the videos that everyone on social media has me watching, a lot of clips from the WNBA right now too. And it's absolutely crazy to me to see the types of fouls and the lack of calls that are having on them from these refs that the players are doing. They're just straight hacking each other. And like, we wouldn't even allow that like at our kids' games that we go to watch, let alone in the NBA. And it's just wild to me that you have somebody that took stadiums which only had like 7,000 people in them to attend live games to completely packed and tripling the ticket prices.
She's just not used to a league that treats assault like strategy. But the worst betrayal? It's not from the refs, not the media, not even the rival players. It's from the bench, from the coaching staff that's supposed to protect her, from the teammates who stand at the three-point line watching her get triple teamed like she's the final boss in a video game.
The way that you thank the player that is doing that is to like jab her in the eye and shove her when she's making shots and all kinds of stuff just because the refs are not good enough to call it. And it's just crazy to me, like, instead of that, why not take it upon yourself to get better so that you can compete with her? And if you think they're competitive with her, a lot of them are not, because she's in the league already setting scoring records and assist records the very first year she's there. So obviously she's a better player than a lot of people in the league. And to take a player that is rocket shipping your sport makes absolutely no sense. And the fact that the WNBA is now only starting to step in a little bit.
And they just stand there, watching, clapping, waiting. Coach Christie sides white. She's not just calling plays, she's curating carnage. Every time Caitlyn hits the deck, every time she's met with a blind screen or a hard elbow, there's no timeout, no adjustment, no fire, just silence. It's not coaching, it's sabotage dressed in a clipboard and polite claps. They say we're developing the whole team. Translation, we're okay if she burns out. Caitlyn Clark was supposed to be the face of the league, the future, the golden goose. Instead, they're poking her with a stick, hoping for one more golden egg, while pretending they're not the ones breaking her wings. And through all of it, she keeps showing up. keeps hitting logo threes, keeps drawing sold-out crowds, keeps proving that brilliance doesn't need protection, it just needs space. But instead of space, they hand her elbows. Instead of support, they hand her silence. And still, she gets up. What they don't realize is every cheap shot turns her into legend. Every bruise becomes a badge. Every accidental tackle adds fuel to the fire she already brought with her. And the more they try to break her, the bigger she becomes. So go ahead.
And I went back and I was thinking, the Caitlyn Clark phenomenon is one that I got wrong. I never really thought that Caitlyn Clark would make the difference that she has in college basketball or in the WNBA. There are, the WNBA opening game for Caitlyn Clark set all-time records. There are millions of people that never cared about the WNBA at all that now care because Caitlyn Clark is in the WNBA.
See, the world is starting to wake up to all this bullshit. Now, y'all heard what that man said. They be beating this girl up after the whistle, bruh. Beating her up, man. And all y'all want to do is tell us, we casual fans, we don't know basketball. This is a physical sport. Man, ain't no physical sport. It's hate and jealousy, bruh. And they be beating that girl up, man. And the WNBA allow this shit, bruh. But like he said, the world's biggest star. But let me guess. He buck dancing. He glazing. He tap dancing. He a coon. Come on, bruh. The world is starting to wake up. The biggest star in probably sports right now, bruh. Y'all letting this girl get done like that. And that's probably why she hurt. And we all know it. They need to start finding these women, bruh. Finding them, suspending them, and make an example out of somebody, bruh. We ain't gonna tolerate this shit, homie. We not gonna be tolerating this shit right here. What's that guy's name that's getting ready to come to the NBA? The white dude? I can't think of his name right now. The rookie that's going to Dallas. I guarantee you, man, they is not gonna be letting that dude get treated like Caitlyn Clark, bruh. And all the men in the WNBA ain't gonna be jealous and shit neither, bruh. We know what we see, bruh. The problem is this, man. A lot of people don't like Caitlyn Clark, bro. They just hate the girl so much, man, that they just can't even when the truth is staring them in their face, they chose to go the other way, bruh. Now, that's what you call hate.
But with all that being said, you know, the WNBA referees has been having issues with getting these calls right when it comes to Caitlyn Clark and the Fever, bruh. And I'm telling you, we have another case of that. And shout out to all the fans that, you know, put these TikToks together, put these videos together, kind of, you know, breaking down everything that has happened with the WNBA referees, because we have another game and we have another situation where WNBA referees failed to make the right calls against Caitlyn Clark and the Fever. But then people want to get mad when Sophie Cunningham pretty much did what she did.
Keep pretending it's just physicality. Keep pretending these are just hard screens and just part of the game. But don't act shocked when fans start asking, is this basketball or a slow motion implosion of the league's future? Because when the books are written and the documentaries roll and the receipts are pulled from the vault, Caitlyn Clark won't be remembered as a rookie. She'll be remembered as the storm they couldn't contain.